I love the Christmas season. I mean, it's just my favorite time of year. And here we are taking this most excellent horse-drawn deal down the middle of the Denver streets late at night. And it's filled with all the excitement and the color and the pictures of Christmas. I guess I'm fortunate because I had great memories as a kid and then more great memories as a dad, and now as a grandpa, they just keep stacking up. And I like Rudolph and the Nutcracker and all of those secular things. But of course, the main focus of our Christmas is Jesus. Did you know that in the Old Testament of the Bible, his birth is constantly talked about? It's one of the most predicted events in the history of the world.
Well, here comes Christmas again, and all the busyness and the pressures and the bills. All the expenses stacking up, and I'm not looking forward to paying them in January, that's for sure.
I'm sorry to hear that you feel that way. The birth of Jesus is supposed to bring peace and joy, especially to those who love him.
So you're so sure that Jesus existed and that his birthday is December 25th?
Well, I believe that he existed and still exists. But December 25th, it's just a day that we celebrate. Nobody really knows the exact date that Jesus was born.
Well, without an exact date, how can you be so sure?
Well, besides the fact that he lives in my heart, the part of the Bible that predates his birth, about his coming, and about who he is.
I think my favorite Old Testament prophecy about the coming birth of Jesus Christ is from the book of Isaiah. He wrote this about 700 years before Jesus' birth. And he said, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace." Well, for those of us who take time to get to know Jesus and accept him as Lord and Savior, he does become a wonderful counselor. But the peace he's talking about isn't like peace between nations or even peace between people. The peace that Jesus brings is peace between us and God.
So if Jesus was known about in advance of his coming, why did so few people believe in him, and why did they want to kill him?
I think it's because most people didn't recognize who Jesus was and why he was sent. Jesus offends people because of his message that we are all sinners and in need of a Savior. And that is why he came, to save us from that eternal destination, separate from him and from his love. And all we have to do is believe him, believe in what he did and who he is.
You know, it sounds like Jesus is better than everybody else, and that kind of offends me.
Exactly. It would be rude and boastful except for this one thing. He is better than us. He's perfect. And because it's all true, he has the right to love and to judge us and offer salvation to all of us.
Well, let me ask you this. Did he predict his death on the cross?
Yes, it does. And Isaiah also says that Jesus would be despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and familiar with suffering. Like one from whom men hide their faces, he was despised, and men esteemed him not. And later Isaiah says that by oppression and judgment he was taken away, yet who of his generation protested? For he was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgression of my people he was punished, and he was assigned the grave with the wicked. Christmas time is a time of hope for Christians because that's when the coming of the Savior of the world occurred. It was predicted, just like his death on the cross was predicted. And now, for people who believe in Jesus, we realize that his blood on the cross paid the price for the salvation of those who believe in him. So at Christmas time, don't miss the most important thing of all. Connect with Jesus, find your salvation, and rest in the peace that you'll have with God.
Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord.